Back here in First Things First, Chris Broussard joining us now. Late yesterday afternoon, the NBA and the Players Association announcing the Bucks' decision not to take the floor, not to play in response to the shooting of Jacob Blake by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. All of yesterday's scheduled games were then postponed. A short time later, NBA players gathered in the bubble to discuss the question on everyone's mind: what now? It was reported that during this meeting, the players from the Lakers and the Clippers voted to boycott the remainder of the NBA season, but only those two teams. LeBron pleading for owners to get more involved and to take action. Chris Broussard, I'll start with you. What was your reaction to how this day played out?
Well, I've never been more proud of black athletes in my adult life, and the white athletes who supported them. I have longed for the day, looking at the inequalities that face African Americans. I've longed for the day when athletes would use their power and their position on behalf of the masses of black people. And I think that was what was done yesterday. That was what was attempted to be done yesterday. So I have nothing but praise and respect for what these players did. They're willing to sacrifice, it appears, their livelihoods, hundreds of thousands of dollars, perhaps millions of dollars on some players' parts, for change in this country, not so much on their behalf, but on the behalf of the African-American community as a whole. And I think any American, regardless of race, regardless of your political stance, should be able to respect when you see people in a privileged position being willing to sacrifice some of their privilege for others who don't have their same privileges. So I give love to the players. Now, there's been a lot of talk about a plan. I like the fact that the Milwaukee Bucks were on the phone yesterday with Wisconsin legislators, the attorney general, the lieutenant governor, and they were given action steps by those legislators to hold people at every level of government accountable. And they found out that the legislature hadn't even met in months. And so they want to hold those people accountable. I also like the fact that LeBron James is saying, let's get the owners involved and hold them accountable. I hope the players are recognizing that these wealthy owners have major reach within society. They can reach out to lawmakers, politicians, police commissioners and chiefs, and get things done. We saw it in the case of Robert Kraft. Black entertainers and athletes have been trying for months to get Meek Mill, the rapper, out of prison. Robert Kraft goes and visits him, and 2 weeks later, Meek Mill is out. They have major reach, and I think that's maybe what LeBron James is talking about. Use your connections and your power on behalf of the black lives that you say matter. So I like that as well. And I'm going to say this, too. Even if there isn't a well-thought-out plan, I still respect these athletes for saying, we are not going to entertain you, meaning white America for the most part, anymore without being fully respected as fellow and equal human beings. There is a long history in this country of blacks entertaining whites, whether it's through singing, dancing, foot races, boxing, wrestling, dating all the way back to slavery. So clearly whites can enjoy African Americans' various talents and gifts and enjoy us entertaining them without respecting us. And I believe that's what these athletes are seeing. They may not be able to put it in the historical terms that I did, but they are saying enough, no more status quo. We will not be entertainers without being respected as human beings. Look, did Muhammad Ali have a plan? No. Muhammad Ali just stood on his convictions. And there were times when even if you don't have a plan, you need to stand up like a man and demand respect on your behalf and behalf of your people. And that's what these athletes are doing. So much respect to them from me.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, I can only imagine what these guys are feeling. You know, if you're not in the moment and you're not on that court, it's hard to feel that pressure. Now, I get a sense that some players may feel guilty for playing while black people are being gunned down in the streets by police. I think about I think about just leadership in this moment. I think about the Todd Bowles of the world making quick decisions and the hard decisions fast. I think about Popovich leading with his heart. I think about Coach K actually embracing the uncomfortable. Like, I think about that. Why is it, Chris, that these players have to carry this weight? I don't get it. I don't understand when this is our country's problem. President Trump needs to stand up. President Trump tweet us. President Trump lock arms with us. President Trump march with us. The great leaders in any sport, in any business, in government, in politics, stand with the people. Now, I'm not trying to make this into a political thing. It comes down to just fundamentals. I don't care about right or wrong. I don't care about who did what, who said what. I don't care about anybody's agenda. But when you're put in a position of power and you're called to lead, you need to lead. Where are you? Now, this is a phenomenal job by the NBA players, and you also have to highlight the WNBA players of showing what being responsible with your platform is. Phenomenal job. But this is not their only job. It shouldn't even be their job. When we have the most powerful country in the world, we have a president who is more than capable to help. So for me, I think about sports and this reflection of sports being this microcosm and a reflection on society. So if society is broken, Chris, then sports should be broken as well.
And I'll take it in a slightly different direction in this regard. Broussard, you alluded to some of the most powerful people in the world are sports owners. We talked about that earlier. I mean, the owner of the Magic is related to the Secretary of Education. The owner of the Nuggets is a Walton heir. Tillman Fertitta hangs out with the president regularly. So obviously, the players, I think, in part here are trying to press on the owners to use those leverages of power. But I also think part of this, and this is where I found myself the last few days, a part of this is just something of feeling broken and so beaten down that you just, at least for a moment, need to stop everything. Because what I do not believe it was simply Jacob Blake being shot 7 times in his back. I think it has some of the players are reacting to the reaction to that from the general public, many of whom call themselves NBA fans, which is that we are seeing once again there is a not small segment of America that will always be able to justify any use of force against any black person. Go back when Tamir Rice was carrying a toy gun in an open carry state as a 12-year-old boy. And within 2 seconds of police arriving, he was shot down in the street, and then they cuffed his mom and sister when they ran over to help. And folks justified it. The Trayvon Martin, when he is followed and accosted by a would-be vigilante who disobeys the orders from the 911 dispatcher, starts a fight with him, and then starts losing the fight and kills him, people found a way to not only justify what George Zimmerman did, but in some circles turn him into a cult hero, where he's signing autographs. John Crawford is in an open carry state. In Ohio, walking around in Walmart, picks up a BB gun Walmart's selling, and within seconds of arriving, police kill him. And it's justified. Just recently, Ahmaud Arbery is stalked and murdered by a former cop and his family. And all of